Hello! Welcome to Rattle the Stars Studios. I'm Tiffany and it is officially 2022. So I figured I would chat with everybody here about plans, what we're doing, what I'm interested in, goals, all of that, but also we're gonna be painting up some shoes I found. So I found these wonderful little boots. I've already taped them for paint at the thrift store, and they're just really cute for an everyday shoe, but also really great as a approximately Regency-ish shoe. So we're gonna do that. But we are going to be painting them this wonderful burgundy. I'm obsessed with burgundy boots, and while I don't have the budget for American Duchess or some of the other reproduction companies, I do have the thrift store budget and this wonderful leather paint. I've used this on other boots and projects before. If you've seen any of my videos about Ahsoka, this is the paint I used for those boots and the tabard, along with a mauve, same brand for that. And it's just really nice. Leather paint is great because it is made to flex with the shoe. So the problem you find with just plain acrylic paint or something like that is that there's no flexibility in the paint. So when you paint a shoe with just plain acrylic paint, it will crack over time because there's no flexibility in the paint. You can fix that by adding some liquid latex in. I've done that before, but I honestly just recommend leather paint because it is already going to be doing that for you. Because I don't know what the finish and everything is on these shoes, I'm going to be starting with a preparer and deglazer. This is just really nice because it just cleans the surface of the shoe and helps your paint stick better. So let's dive on into that and have a little chitty chat while we go. So 2022, y'all, there is a lot of stuff I want to do. There's a lot of projects that I want to work on this year. There's a lot of just kind of stuff I want to try and learn. And some stuff that I want to do on YouTube that is different than I've done before. So mostly I've been doing sewing content on here, and I'm going to continue to do sewing content and costuming content and all that sort of stuff. But there's other areas that I'm really interested in that I want to explore and that I'm just kind of interested in making content for. Part of it is sewing content takes a while to produce, and I have hit a point in my sewing costuming journey where I don't want to go overly fast on things. I want to take the time to do stuff that it really needs. So I'm not going to force myself to bust something out haphazardly in a short amount of time just to get a video up or something like that. So I would rather take longer to produce a sewing video than make something happen really quickly that I just am not as proud about, because I have come to the conclusion over many years of cosplay and things that that kind of grind is not worth it to me, and I don't produce the quality that I want when I do that. So while I definitely am going to be filming my projects and putting stuff out, and I have big plans for that, I want to kind of add in other types of content, and I'm interested in a lot of stuff. So one of the things that I do a lot of is read, and I love books and I love talking about books, and I like creating things that are inspired by books and stories and all of that. So I'm going to be adding some more bookish content into the channel. That could be in the form of just plain book reviews, which most likely those I'm going to kind of keep on my TikTok just for the sake of things. But on the channel here, I am going to do some book reviews that also include some kind of craft or something, kind of like we're doing here, where we're chatting, but we're also making, because I really like that. And I like and want to keep my channel being a very like creative and craft focused channel. So that's one thing that I'm going to be adding in. But another thing is that I'm going to be trying and learning some new things this year. So one of the first things that I'm going to be tackling this year is I'm going to be learning how to make bread. Yes, I'm showing up 2 years late with Starbucks to the bread making trend of quarantine, but here we are. So I am going to be taking a bread class in the first part of the year, and I want to bring some of that kind of foodie content to the channel, whether it's straight up bread making, which who knows, but I love to cook, I love to try things, and I want to bring that to here. So again, if we are making something, there's going to be a crafty element. So I have some wonderful thrifted pillowcases that I love, and I think they would make just like the cutest aprons. So we're gonna do some apron projects and probably cook something in our new aprons. But yeah, I want to bring some of those things here as well, and I'm just really looking forward to it. The other thing I am really looking forward to learning and trying is pottery. I have really been wanting to try pottery for over a year now, but I've only just hit a point where I feel like I can take the time to learn that and kind of make learning that a priority of my crafty journey. So probably in the spring, I am going to take a pottery class. So either I'm going to figure out some way to bring that fun to the channel as well. I'm really looking forward and excited about it. Excuse my hiccups. I just think there's so much cool, fun stuff you can do with that, and just other kinds of non-sewing crafts. I'm really looking forward to exploring some of those hobbies and things again. I used to do a lot more other crafting than I do now. So I'm just really excited about that. So that's some of the non-sewing stuff that I'm looking at this year that I want to incorporate and try and bring to the channel in some capacity. I'm really excited and looking forward to it. So there we go. Now, sewing related stuff, because that is still the main focus here. I have some really, really fun things that I want to work on this year. So first, we're going to start our year off with corsets and Edwardian projects. So there'll be some other stuff coming as well, but I'm really looking forward to starting my year doing a big project like that. I have been wanting to make another corset and experiment more with corset padding and things like that, because what I've realized from the corset that I have made that I have shown off in my Aziraphale and Donald Duck videos is it doesn't have enough padding, and I have a very small rib to hip bone middle waist area, and the corset that I have is not padded well for that. So after a couple hours, it's very, very hard to wear. And that's just a padding issue, not a corset issue. So I'm really looking forward to making a new corset and experimenting with that. So that's coming up first. I also have a few cosplays that are on the books, but I also have a really big 18th century dress gown, sackback gown, really, that I am in progress on. And we're gonna finish that this year. And what's really exciting about that dress is it's also a fairy costume, so we're gonna be wearing on wings. Yay! It's at the point where basically it needs some final fittings, but also all of the details. So we're gonna get into all the detail stuff. And I'm not 100% positive when I'm going to be finishing that dress, but it will be somewhere in here. And I also really want to dive into 18th century dress, 19th century. I really want to dive into an 1860s ball gown, big hoop skirt ball gown. So that is also in the plans for this year. The idea for that is it is going to be a Princess Peach dress. One of my absolute favorite things recently that I've really just come to adore is taking characters and instead of doing their exact costume, doing a interpretation of it. So my plan is to take Princess Peach, specifically her fire flower gown, and translate that into an 1860s ball gown. It is going to involve making the hoop skirt. So we're going to be exploring some new undergarments and a new silhouette and a lot of trim and ribbon flowers. So I'm super pumped. I have a new book, well, new to me, it's a thrifted book, all about ribbon flowers and making ribbon flowers and the different kinds and how to do it. So we're going to be diving headfirst into that, which is so very exciting. But that is a later part of the year project. My goal for that is late summer into fall for that project. I also want to continue my trend of making things for my everyday wardrobe. So we're gonna do just some regular clothing sewing as well. And I have some projects on the shelf, some dresses and things like that that are going to be a lot of fun to dive into. My plan is to try to make a dent into the fabric on my shelf here, and I think we definitely can whittle away at that this year, which will be very exciting. I'm not doing a formal no-buy for fabric because there are some projects that will need fabric and trim, but I am hopeful and planning to make it through about a third of the bookshelf, which would be amazing and would do so much in terms of using up what I have, which would be really nice. So as far as scheduling with the channel goes, my current goal is to post every other week. With some of the ideas I have, and with the books and baking and pottery and all of those things that I have sitting in my brain, there is potential for the channel to get weekly videos, but I don't want to hold myself to that quite yet. I'm not quite ready to fully commit to a weekly release. Probably will sprinkle in extra videos in different months, but I'm not quite ready to commit to an every week schedule. I just want to make sure that I don't overwhelm myself, and while it is January and I have a bunch of energy and a bunch of ideas and a bunch of steam, I don't want to completely lose that before like a month or two happens. So my current plan is a consistent every other week schedule, releasing on Thursdays, but there most likely will be extra videos sprinkled in to the different months. Also, since October is my favorite because of Halloween, there probably will be extra videos around that time as well. The shoes are coming along really, really well now. I'm so just absolutely in love with the color of that. Oh, they're gonna be so fun to wear both every day, but also with the different costumes and things that I have going. So the last step here, since they are dry enough, is we are going to use a satin finishing like sealer for these. It's just gonna help keep the paint on there and wear much nicer. So let's do that and we will finish up. Okay, they're all finished. So now we get to take off the tape. Oh, I'm so excited. Yes. Okay. Let us. Okay. And again, these are thrifted boots, so they're not perfect. There's obviously a little bit of like wear on them. They're in really good shape though. When it comes to shoes, I will not pick up thrifted shoes that look heavily worn. I want them to be as close to new as I can find, partially so that they last well, but also you can have issues with how you walk if you are wearing shoes that have really been broken in by someone else's feet, because it can just like impact how they feel for you. So my goal is always very lightly worn to new shoes when thrifting, and these, as you can see, are very, very lightly worn, but they are older, so there, oh, there you have it. Look at how cute those are. Okay, even this one, look at that, so nice, so crisp. We got all up in there. Yes, there's kind of like spots, I don't know how you can see that, where it's like not quite all the way to the rubber, but because nobody is putting their face that close to your shoes. And if they are, kick them in the nose. So thank you for hanging out with me while I paint up these shoes and get them looking chef's kiss gorgeous for everyday wear and costume wear, but also just hanging out and chatting with me about what the 2022 plans are. I am so excited, I'm so motivated, and just really excited to make this year a big year and to dive into new projects, new type of content, and to, you know, upgrade my editing just a little bit. So I hope you will come on the journey of 2022 with me, and I cannot wait to dive on in to bigger and better projects. I'll catch you all later. Bye.